supporting them to work with new ideas. So before we begin with the session, I would like to invite Dr. Kshitija Kadam ma'am to tell us more about IIC. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Gracie. Good afternoon, Dr. Deshmukh. Good afternoon, Professor Nandankar, Faculty Coordinator of this event. Today's speaker Ishan, Student Coordinator Ayush, Gracie, and IIC Coordinator Swapnil. Dear participants, Institute Innovation Council is a council of students, faculty, entrepreneurs, angel investors, and IPR experts. It works under the umbrella of AICTE and Ministry of Education. This innovation IIC has been established in 2018, and since then it is moving towards its goal. The major focus of IIC is to have innovative ecosystem within the institute and around the institute to promote patent filing, to promote startup and entrepreneurship, and to guide in such activities. We have moved ahead very fast, and in last 2 years we have succeeded in many big achievements. For example, our 4 teams last year 7, and last but 1 year 4 teams has reached to state level. One of our student has represented India in international level. Our student has communicated or had interview with renowned personalities like Honorable Ajit Dobhal, Honorable Anand Mahendra sir, and so many. So under this ISC, we have so many activities, and all these activities are being evaluated by AICTE. AICTE till last year has granted us, they have rated our activities, and they have granted us 4.5 stars out of 5. So that which is credit, lot of credit goes to our student team. This year I am very happy that in True Spirit we are doing ecosystem. We ISC and Adhyay are witnessing a common event and with the title of Startup Mantra. So I am really very happy to listen to today's youngest speaker or youngest speaker of this entire activity, Ishan. I extend my best wishes to this organizing team and the participants. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind and encouraging words. Knowledge grows exponentially. The more we know, the greater our ability to learn, and faster we expand our knowledge base. So without further ado, I request Mr. Ishan Sharma sir to enlighten us with his knowledge and to tell us something more about his startup. Over to you, sir.
Hey everyone. So about my startup, I again, for those of you who don't know, I'm a second year student in college, and I realized that a lot of people that are starting their own startups, they need someone to manage their content creation activities onto YouTube as well as on Instagram. So I thought I can create this agency in which we would help people out with this. I was having a lot of emails that people used to send me saying that, hey bro, can you help me out with getting me like a client for freelancing and things like that. So I thought, why not start an agency in which I would get these people on board into the team, and we'll try to pitch startups. Right, so we'll be pitching high growth startups that have the funding to actually devote it to building their presence on social media, and then we can start to grow their YouTube channel and Instagram. So that's what MarketHub is about. Currently, we have about 15 people on the team, and we're trying to help companies build their online presence, their social media presence, actually. So yeah.
All questions are equally important. So if anyone have any doubts, feel free to ask. We are now open for questions.
So hey Ishan, I had a doubt. I'm Laksh. I'm a first year student.
Yeah.
My doubt was that like how did you start? That was my first question because you said like you I've been following you first of all. I've been following you and Curious Harish as well. So yeah, definitely I know that you all are into freelancing. And how did you start with freelancing? Because yeah, when I've tried freelancing, maybe gotten one or two clients from here and there, but it never really kicked off. So how do you like? How did you manage to kick off with that?
Yeah, a lot of people just go to the freelancing platforms and then they try to get the clients that way. I have tried that, but unfortunately, it did not work out for me. Right. So, the first few clients on these freelancing platforms are quite difficult for you to get. But once you can get the first few clients on platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, and Freelancer, then the next few clients become a lot more easier for you to get. But then talking about how I did it, I just went on LinkedIn, I emailed people, I talked to people on LinkedIn, pitched them my services, and then because of my own YouTube channel, I was actually able to get discovered. Right, so मैं बहुत सारी वीडियो बनाया था. Because of that, a lot of people were watching them, and some of those were also people who were running startups. So there's this one startup called as Able Jobs. Able Jobs is basically a YC-backed startup, Y Combinator. So they reached out to me saying that you are creating some great content on YouTube. We would like you to create content on our own YouTube channel about job openings available for the freshers. So that's sort of what I did. I used to like create videos for their YouTube channel. You can still go and you can watch my videos. Some of them have like crazy 5 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh views. So yeah, my whole motive was to just get started anyhow, right? I also tried to get internships. So I went on to this website called as AngelList, and I used to just search for internships that I can apply. I used to apply for at least, I think, 20 to 30 internships I used to apply for every single day. And I got one internship into the social media management position, worked over there, managed their Facebook ads. Then I had to quit it because it was just not good for me. But then I just like focused upon my own YouTube channel, and things sort of happened as we went on. Right. So that's how that happened. I would like to tell all of you that you should just try to experiment with different things. So once I made this Python playlist, I was just like teaching Python programming on YouTube. So I made, I think, around 5 or 6 videos, and total, I think each video got, I think, around 400, 300 views. But one of those videos was watched by someone from an academy. And so then they emailed me saying that, hey, you are actually teaching Python to students on YouTube. It would be great if you can also teach an academy. You can also teach Python on the Unacademy platform. And so that's how that journey got started, just because of one video that got 300, 400 views. So that's how my freelancing journey got started. I would say it's a lot different than what you would normally hear. The people say, other people just say, "Ki, oh, मैं तो platform पे गया था, I started freelancing and I got the client as well." So that's sort of how my journey started.
All right. Well, I had another doubt as well. So, like since I've been following y'all, I know like even Curious Harish, he has built chatbots and stuff like that. He's had his own startup as well. So, how did you start developing your skills in your first year? Like, because most of us we started our first year very late because our exams were pretty late, and now like when it comes to developing a skill, like I remember my first 6 months in my first year was just like going and learning Python, and that's how like I started. But then later on I just felt like I'm an electrical, I want to do this, and how do I just go about it, like learning different skills, and what's the best method to do that?
Yeah. So there's actually a friend of mine called, his name is Kunal Kushwaha from Code for Cause YouTube channel. And what he talks about is something really interesting. The method is called as pie-shaped learning, right? So he basically says that first of all, you need to uh, go and learn as many things as you can. And once you have, let's say, learned 5 or 6 things you have tried, then you can sort of try to narrow down into 1 or 2 things particularly. So I think that's what you should try to follow in the first semester or the first 2 semesters. Just like focus on learning a variety of different things. I'll tell you what I did in first year. I was learning video editing in my first semester. I was learning Python. I learned C++. I learned about machine learning. I learned about a bunch of different things. And then I understood what is it that I really like to do for the long term. So for example, machine learning, super cool, super interesting stuff. I also did a bunch of courses, the Stanford course, Andrew Ng course, and then the CS 231N course from Stanford. All of these courses I took, and then I realized that this is a good thing, but then I need to put in a lot of time if I want to really build something from scratch. If I want to build a model from scratch, I would have to devote a lot more time, and I have to basically do research. And I was just not having the time to go deep into that. So I took a pause, I put that to the side, and I went into learning about web development, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, and then MongoDB. So I learned the complete MERN stack. Then I went over to learn about social media marketing. After the first semester ended, I came back to my home. I started consuming a lot of content from people like Gary Vaynerchuk and Beer Biceps. I got really motivated about building content online to just like help people out to spread awareness about certain topics, and that's why I started my own podcast. But yeah, that's basically how things started. I would just say that make sure that you are not feeling comfortable in your first year, in whatever you're doing. Okay, so I would always feel this thing कि मतलब मुझे कुछ नहीं आता. There are so many other amazing people out there doing so many amazing things. So I won't be able to compete with them, but that's exactly what you should put yourself into. Put yourself into those uncomfortable positions, and that's how you're going to grow in your first year of college itself. This is what has been true for me, and I think this should help you out.
Thanks a lot for answering the doubts. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Sure.
So there's one more question from one of our participants. It says, what are the things that one can do in order to grow on YouTube apart from making videos?
Apart from making videos, well, YouTube is a video platform, so you need to make videos. You need to make more videos, as many of them as you can. There are only two things that I think has helped me out. I'm not trying to like teach anyone some secret formula. It's very simple. This is what has helped me, and that is you need to be relatable to the audience, number one, and number two, you need to have consistent content. You need to form that habit of just putting out content on a consistent basis. Maybe that is 2 times every single week. For me, it is 4 times every single week. So I put out content at that level, but that doesn't mean that you should do the same. It depends on what your category is. For me, that works out because my content is a lot more interview type. So just like we're talking right now, I could do like an interview, I could upload this exact same clip, and that would be my video. So for me, it's a lot easier. But let's say for someone who's making like a complete like a documentary or something like that, then it makes sense for them to upload 2 times a week or 1 time a week. But yeah, that's what I would say. Just focus a lot more on understanding the pain points of what is it that people really want to see. Right? This is what will also make you great founders in whatever you're trying to build. You'll be able to find out that product market fit, right? So that is like your video market fit, video audience fit you need to create. If you can do that, then that would be really good. So yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Don't call me sir. Like, why do you call me sir? What college are you in? Like, what year are you in?
I'm in second year.
Yeah, like you don't need to call me sir. Any more questions?
Yes, I have. Hey, hi, Kishan. I'm just
Hi, Swapnil.
following you from my first year, like your YouTube channel. Your content is too good. I can't explain.
Thank you so much.
Likely
Thank you so
from your
much.
content, I got one research internship, even
Oh,
by
wow.
your awareness and all. So thanks
That's
a
really
lot
cool.
for that.
See,
And
this is the
I
thing.
have
This is
also
what
started.
keeps me going. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you again. Yeah, so likely by your approach towards the freelancing, I have also started doing freelancing in like making websites and all. So I got some international clients from there. So like it's become very difficult to contact with them. So like, is there any different platform or specific platform through which we can get our international clients?
So you already have the client and you want to contact them, or is it that you need to first of all find the client?
Yeah, I have the clients, but like I feel it's difficult to like contact with them. They give some uncertain platforms and like it's become difficult to contact with them. So how to
Just
deal
do like
with
a
that
meet.
situation also?
Just do like a Google Meet with them whenever they are free, and then you might need to wake up in late night, you need to talk to them. So that's what I would say.
Yeah,
Try
we
to
tried a
do-
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, you continue.
I was just saying that try to create that connection with them as much as you can, because on these freelancing platforms, there's too much anonymity, right? Just like dealing with profiles which have some random pictures, people don't feel that connection with the freelancer, and so they might not trust you as much. So I would just say that try to like get on calls with them, talk to them, do these calls with them so that they have that connection with you.
Yeah, sure. I have tried this way. I go through the Google Meet, but the understanding or the faith that requires to between the product and the like service and customer. So that faith I can't able to develop much more between the foreign customers mostly. Why the reason behind that I'm not able to understand that. So because of that
So you're saying
reason
that you're not
I'm
able
lagging
to
some.
you're not able to create trust. Is
Yeah,
that
exactly. Yeah.
okay? Does that mean is that happening because you don't have a strong enough portfolio?
It may be.
Right, that might be the case, or it can also be the case that you're not clarifying them exactly what you will deliver. Maybe that can be the case. Try to reflect upon these things.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Welcome. Bye bye. Yeah, any more questions, guys? How many people are there here?
Hi, Ishan. Hi, Ishan. I'm having one question for you. Actually, I have seen your profile now, and actually, I have seen that you are a YouTube content creator.
Yeah.
So I'm going to fetch more number of subscribers, because just now actually someone have written in the chat box that you are having 100K subscriber. Even I am having my channel, but I'm not able to fetch these subscribers for my channel. So how means do you have any technique or some rules and regulation to fetch more subscribers?
Why do you focus on the subscribers?
No, actually, because my channel is there, so I want actually more people to get attracted to my, work. So
Right.
for that, I need more subscribers. Only then my work will be,
Sure.
flourished all over the, all over India, or you can say all over the world.
Yeah.
So for
right.
that, I need more people to get attracted to towards my work. So for that only, I'm asking.
Mhm.
So actually, do you have any such techniques or anything which you can share with us?
As I just said, you need to be consistent in what you're doing, and you need to be relatable with your audience, with whatever audience you want to reach out to. So, like for example, my audience was college students. So I talked a lot more about my own college experiences. What do I feel about the mistakes I've made? What lessons can people learn from that? Then just like talking about software development, that's really hot topic that people want to know more about. Sharing my own interview experiences. There's actually a video that I have uploaded on my channel, which is a real scenario. Like someone was actually interviewing me live, and I recorded that video and I uploaded that onto YouTube. I thought if there was something like that, I would love to watch that kind of a video. So I just made it for that. I would say just like how many videos have you put out? Rafal?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm asking
Please
how many
pardon.
videos have you put out?
No, actually, I have prepared only, I think, around 40 or 50 videos, and that too on my subject, because actually I'm teaching, some subjects. So I want, because actually my syllabus coverage is very, very, I'm not that much fast, so I can cover only 4 or 3 units. So if I want to, post more videos on the remaining syllabus, so because actually I'm not getting that support from, from the audience. So that is why actually I'm asking you that
Maybe it's
I have
because
seen that you have.
maybe it is because the audience that you want to reach out to is quite small.
Yeah, because right now actually the problem is that maybe that audience will relate more to some other context. They don't want any
If you want
technical
to do
knowledge
the
to be,
content for the long term, if you want to do this for the long term, focus the content around you and your perspective on things. right?
Okay.
Because people will come to you not because they want to hear the news of whatever the topic is. They want to come to you because they want to hear your perspective on the news that they've just heard on Twitter or elsewhere, right? So
And one more
that's what I
question. And
would.
one more question, Ishan. And one more question, Ishan. Actually, what makes you to actually create more videos, and what makes you to actually shift your focus from your actually that normal engineering life to your YouTube content create means I just want to know that how you have shifted from your engineering field to this YouTube content creating field.
Sure. So it all started because I wanted to get into IITs. Right? I had a dream, typical dream of getting into the IITs. I worked really hard at it. I went to some of the best coaching institutes out there. My parents wasted like a bunch of money for me. And then when I actually gave the exam, JEE mains ho gaya, JEE advanced mein I think I got like 18,000 something rank, which was not enough to get me into any IIT. So that was a point in which I realized that abhi, basically fight over नहीं हुई है मेरे लिए. I need to keep hustling as much as I can, trying different things so that whatever college I go to doesn't even matter in front of what people look, right? So as you just said, I do these many things. I am a content creator. I do this, this, this. Then BITS Goa comes at the very end. Yeah, like he's also a student at BITS Planning Goa campus. That's just basically what I wanted to do. I just knew that if I would have been at IIT, I would not do anything like that. I'll just like chill, I'll watch Netflix, and I'll just be it. Right. So I just wanted to experiment as much as possible, and I knew that I would not have as many opportunities as compared with like a person who is in the IIT. So I wanted to hustle as soon as I could. And I was also watching content from like Aman Dattarwal and the typical OG content creators like Kalpit Veerwal and all. So I got really motivated by their own journeys. So that's how I started. How do I stay consistent is because, yeah, Swapnil just said that, hey, I got my research internship. So, things like these, just people reaching out to me, telling that my content has actually worked out for them, that is what keeps me going, right? Not just the numbers are great, but then when I actually get a result, like a positive result of someone saying that this content helped me get X internship, X freelance client, my first $1,000, something like that. So that is what is like the fuel behind me creating more and more videos. And so far, it's just been like a habit for me. So you might have heard that rule that if you do something for 66 days, that will become like a habit. If you do something for 21 days, it becomes a habit. So I've done it for 300 times, so it has become a habit for me. So yeah.
Hey Ishan, Aditya this side. I am also a
Okay.
YouTube. So actually, I saw your channel really 7 to 8 days before, and I had started liking the content. So your consistency is like crazy. You already told that you upload 4 videos in a week.
Yeah.
So as a YouTuber, for me, it is really hard to manage college life as well as making videos and uploading it. So how do you maintain the crazy consistency?
So I just said that it has become a habit for me, so it's not a problem. How do I manage that with my own college work? I don't have to do my college work basically. That's what the benefit is of work of studying at BITS. You have something called as the 0% attendance policy, and on top of that, it is online, so you get even more freedom. So I don't attend my normal lectures in my college. I only attend what I think is interesting to me. The ones I do not attend, I just like study later, and I don't have like really good CGPA. I have like 6 CGPA. This is completely fine for me. I don't have any purpose. I don't have any use case of my CGPA right now because I have been able to talk and work at the biggest startups of India, and no one has really asked me my CGPA so far, right? And I don't think they will. So yeah, that's basically what I feel about that. I think it would be really hard if you would not have this policy, if you would have that rigid 75% attendance policy, कि मतलब इतना तो करना ही पड़ेगा. That would make it a lot tougher for me to do this.
Yes, one more question, please. So, how should I grow my YouTube channel from? I have 193 subscribers now, and I have only one viral video that went till 18K views. It has reached 18K views. So, what is your advice for young YouTube creators that they should grow their YouTube channel? Your
What is your aim with your YouTube channel?
sorry.
What is your aim with the YouTube channel that you have?
Actually, I am a tech YouTuber. I post YouTube videos related to laptops and all.
Okay. Yeah, but like, do you want to do this full time? Do you want to do this just for fun? Do you want to, like, I'm just trying to understand where do you want to take this in the future if you have a plan for that. If you do not, that is also completely fine.
Actually, I started this as a hobby, but I have started liking this thing, like uploading videos. People are watching you, they are appreciating you. So yes, if it is a
How many
big
videos do you have?
Till now 25 videos.
Okay. And how many subscribers are 93? That is actually really good, bro, because I made 25. I'll tell you what happened with me, right? So I had produced around, I think, 80 to 90 videos before I hit 1,000 subscribers. And I produced, I think, around 180 videos before my channel got monetized. So that's the hard work that is required. And just need to put out as many videos as you can. Don't give up on YouTube unless you have made at least like 100 videos, unless you have spent at least 2 years on the platform. You should not give up on that. But like, think about what you want to do for this. I want it to be like a thing that I can do for the long term. So I just cannot give up on this by working on it for, let's say, 1 year, 2 years, even 3 years. I will continue to experiment as much as I can. That's what I would say. Just keep putting out consistent content. That's the way to go. People underestimate consistency a lot, I think.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome, bro.
Thank you, Ishan. Now we would like to have a few interview questions and a quick interview session. So shall we begin?
Sure.
So first question is how to do market research for a product or service?
Okay. You want to market research. First of all, you need to understand what are the competitors in this particular space. You need to also gather feedback from people. Once you have your MVP ready, your minimum viable product ready, then you can sort of go out there and you can give this to people and see how they react with it and try to understand what is their perception. Try to do this experiment with people that you have never met before so that they can really give you the raw feedback, right? If you give this to your family, to your friends, they might not be 100% honest with you just because they do not want to hurt your feelings. So just try to talk to these people, see what they are saying, and note down exactly how they're using the product. What is their expression when they are using the product? Let's say this is like an iPhone that you give to someone. Someone looks at this iPhone, they're like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." So do they have that sort of a experience? Do they have that expression on their face when they touch your product, when they use it, when they experience it? So that's just something that you need to understand. You need to be you need to be a keen observer if you want to really do proper analysis of how good your product is. And then market research, as I just said, you need to understand your competitors. You need to do their SWOT analysis, right? To understand their strengths, weaknesses, and things like that. That will help you.
Thank you. Here's the next question. In the beginning, when we don't have proper resources, how can one manage in that case? In like financial support.
For what? For doing what? For doing YouTube? For doing like college?
For YouTube.
For YouTube. I didn't spend anything in the beginning. I didn't spend a single rupee. So far also, like, what is this? This is for 3,000. This light is for 1,000. The whole thing is just for like 5,000-6,000 rupees. And I'm on this platform for 1.5 years. The first 6 months, I got nothing for me. I had this phone that I just got for the first time, my first phone. I am still recording every single video using this phone. And so I just used this. Even before this, I did not have my phone. I had my mom's phone that she gave to me. So the first few videos that you will see on my channel are just from there. And even before that, I was making videos using my 2 megapixel webcam on my laptop. That doesn't stop anyone to. If you are really interested into getting started with expressing yourself, with giving value to people, you need to start without thinking much about if you have the right equipment or are you financially sound to do this. Just start. Once you have like a good enough phone to like edit some video, you can download those video editors on phone, video editors on your laptop, and you can just get started like that. Don't need to be having like the best equipment in the world.
Thank you. Here's the third question. How to consistently find different topics for videos?
I would say talk to your audience as much as you can. They will give you everything that you need. Talk to them how much ever you can. I have them on my Instagram. They give me feedback on every single video I'm making. They give me feedback on every single content idea that I have in my mind. So I just ask them that, hey, in the stories, IG stories, I ask them that, what would you want me to make next? What will be more helpful to you? Should I make A? Should I make B? Should I make C or something else? So I think that's what helps. Also focus on the content that you would like to see yourself. People will tell you to make X, but if you don't enjoy making X, just don't do it. You need to find that intersection of the two circles. One circle that has the content that you like to make, one that the audience wants, and then you get the intersection of what you should actually be doing.
Here's the next one. Should we start a startup in team or a single person can also start? Means what do you prefer?
This is completely subjective to the idea and what you're doing. But the thing is that you need to have a team, right? You need to have a team. Generally, you have a team of, let's say, 3 people, ideally. You have one person looking after the tech side, you have another person looking after the marketing side, then you have the third person looking after the business side of things, accounting and things like that. So you would ideally have 3 people. But that doesn't mean that you cannot start as a single person. You can start with single as well. There are always exceptions and examples that you will see of people as solo founders starting like billion-dollar companies. That's totally possible.
What are the things that you learned from your previous startup?
My previous startup?
Is there any?
No, not really. I mean, even the startup that I currently have is not technically a startup. It's more of a content agency. It's a typical business, right? So we don't have any losses. We don't need to get funding because the whole model works when we have a deal with a client, right? So the client gives us the upfront payment and then we get started with the work. So it's not like I'm waiting for funding or something. But then my previous startup was just a simple business in which I was teaching people about podcasting. It's called as Pod Infinity. I started this when I was in my first year. Over there, I would basically just like call people and I would just say, hey, sir, if you want me to teach you podcasting, it's really interesting. You should totally learn this. We have a 6-week long course that you can take and you can learn about how podcasting works. I'll teach you editing. I'll teach you audio editing. I'll teach you how to put your podcast out there so that people can get it. So that's basically what I did. Mistakes that I had from that, lessons I learned, I would say, is that I just like dropped the price too much. So one day I was just like feeling to get a lot of clients. I dropped the price from 3,000 rupees for the course to like 600 rupees out of nowhere. So I think that was the mistake, but I don't really call that a mistake because I learned so much from that. So it was more of a stepping stone to what I'm doing right now.
And what was the motive behind starting MarketUp?
I think I explained this previously as well, right? So my own motive was that I have both people, right? So I have the clients that email me every single day. I get tons of emails from people asking me that you're doing great work on your YouTube. Can you also help us out with our own content strategy? And then I have these people emailing me that, hey, it would be good if you can help me out with getting my clients. So I see that I can create that platform that people can just like, meet. Right? So I have 2 people, they can talk to each other. So that's sort of what I've started off. That's the whole motive.
This is all. We had this many questions. Thank you very much for answering our questions.
Thank you so much for inviting me here. It was great talking to you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Ishan, I want to ask one last question. Can I?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Actually, most probably the students belonging to the Tier 3 college, what they feel that startup is not for our,
Hmm.
because like they are something scared or not, they are not want to take any like challenge. So basically, what is your advice to them that like how should they go with the startup and what are its advantages and what help what it help to grow in their career growth?
Yeah, I would say that if you feel that it is a difficult thing, then don't do it. No one's like forcing you to do it. If you don't want it, then definitely don't do it. If you think it's risky, definitely do not do that. The advantages are very limited. The downside is a lot. Like it would be really hard for you to do that because this is too much hard work, right? You are much better off at like a job working over there. You don't have to ideate too much. You don't have to think too much. Just like get the work done, and that's pretty much it. But then, if you want to create value for people as well as for yourself in the most real form, that then you'll have to start with your business. But do that only because you like the idea. But yeah, I mean, I totally get it. A lot of people are afraid from starting up, and that's completely fine because it is too risky, and you would be better off getting like a job that would be more of a safer option, and everyone goes for a safer option. So yeah, no pressure on people that don't want to start.
Yeah, thanks.
Welcome, bro.
Ishan, perhaps Swapnil was having last but one question. I have one more question for you.
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
it's not question, it's just appreciation. I really salute your clarity of thoughts. You
Thank
are
you so much.
very clear in your thoughts,
Yeah.
very clear in your mind, and that is the reason for your success. What I can conclude here. All the
Right.
best, beta. I
Thank
really
you so much.
appreciate your self confidence.
Mhm.
Few of your properties are matching with Thomas Alva Edison, what he thought of himself. So I
Arey wah.
really expect that you will grow like anything. You will become an international personality. All the best for
Thank you so
your
much, ma'am.
future.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Over to you, Gracie. I interrupted, but I could not control
Gracie.
myself without interrupting.
Gracie, actually, I would like to also say something because when I heard Ishan, actually, he's very much fluent and very much actually efficient in his work. And the way he is explaining all the things that is actually making a very sense to all people. So I must say, I must congratulate him that he is in only second year. And actually, there are many more years to go. So I think he will bring laurels to his college, his family, and to entire India. So I think that he must go ahead only. So all the best from my side, Ishan.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
I do agree. As a student from second year, this was very inspiring for me and my other colleagues. So thank you very much.
Welcome. All right.
So thank you very much, Mr. Ishan, for sharing your experience and knowledge with us. We are very grateful to have you here today. Indeed, it was an excellent session. Mentors, that's where the real work gets done. This webinar would not have been possible without the coordination and guidance of Mr. Praful Nandankar sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your gracious presence. Now, I request Mr. Priyam Kumar Oja to propose a vote of thanks. Over to you, Priyam.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Priyam Kumar Oja. On behalf of Adhyay and IIC, express our deepest sense of gratitude to the Honorable Speaker, Mr. Ishan Sharma sir. Despite his busy schedule, he has accepted our invitation and delivered a webinar on such an interesting topic. His guidance will certainly benefit all the participants in the area of content creation and startups. We also thank Dr. P.R. Deshmukh sir, HOD Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, for his presence in this webinar. We are also very much thankful to respected Dr. Kshitija Kadam ma'am, President IIC, and Professor Praful Nandankar sir, Faculty Coordinator IIC, for their guidance. We are also thankful to all the faculty coordinators of IIC and Adhyay for showing their interest in this webinar. We also thank to all the participants and students who have taken interest and attended this webinar. Last but not the least, I thank to all the team members of Adhyayan IIC for organizing this webinar. This webinar has really given very much information to us. And for me also, one thing I want to say that I was very much afraid of making videos. I was thinking to start making videos on YouTube, but I was afraid. But after listening you, as you are in second year, I'm really very much motivated by you, and really I will start making videos on topics which I want to. Thank you very much.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for joining me here. Thank you so much for inviting. I hope this was helpful to all of you. I hope that you go and execute on whatever you want to achieve. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ishan sir.
Over to you, Gracie.
With this, I, on behalf of IIC and Adhyay, hereby declare that this session is ended. But there is no real ending. I wholeheartedly thank each and every one of you for your presence and active participation. Thank you very much. A link for feedback form will be provided in the chat box. Once you fill this form, you will receive your e-certificates. Thank you once again.